Welcome back to Road to Fire. We're a family of four documenting our journey to FIRE, financial independence, retire early. Let's chat about our April 2024 budget. I will share details on our joint household income, outline our expected expenses for the month, and a brief update on our Q1 2024 financial goals with all real numbers like always, so please hang with me. So April is a normal income month for us. No bonuses, no extra check, nothing out of the norm. We have 3 months with 3 different incomes, and I'm happy to finally, although lower, get back into our routine. This will make managing our 3-step paycheck routine much easier. The bulk of our income still comes from our W-2s, but we are working to grow and create other streams of income that at times could be a bit inconsistent. Today, we have 4 solid streams of income, and that doesn't include dividends as we reinvest all of our dividends. So technically 5, and we hope to get to the magical number of 7 by the end of this year. 3 things we're working on is growing my husband's business income, which I don't count today as it's not consistent yet, growing this channel long term, and then potentially looking into buying or investing into a new business. On top of that, my husband is working to either renegotiate or get a raise at his company, or possibly find a new job. He's hit his 2-year mark and is severely underpaid. We've all been at that company that lets go of people and continues to disperse the work with those who are left behind. Now his company has done this about 3 times, and so he's now doing the work of almost 2.5 people. Our focus for the last 2.5 years was to increase our income. Now it's to diversify it. And this is much harder. Most of our typical passive income streams are not really passive. So it's finding the right avenues to pursue with the least amount of hours. So I always share this in case you're new here. We budget using the zero-based budget method, which is the best way to budget for us. Essentially, all income has a line item in our budget. Your income is either tied to an expense or savings, and savings will include our cash and investments. This type of budgeting makes sense as all of your income is accounted for. For example, say you make $5,000 a month and your expenses roll up to be about $4,000, thus making your savings $1,000 respectively. You essentially have assigned every dollar in your budget a task. A budget tells your money where to go and when, and we use Excel as our platform. I don't ever see myself moving away from it. I love Excel, and I know it might be outdated, but it works very well for us, especially with all the categories we have in our budget. So here's a quick recap on how March 2024 went. Let's just say that March was not bad overall. I can't remember a time when we have ever hit our budget perfectly. We are usually over or under, and that's normal when it comes to forecasting. It's expected. But we do have a few categories in our variable section that I wanted to highlight. I always want to highlight groceries as this is a big pain point for many people, especially within the last few years due to inflation. So for groceries, we plan to spend $600 for our family of 4, which includes 2 small children, both 6 and 2 years old, just to keep that in mind. And we ended up actually spending $591, so we hit this line item. Things that keep our grocery budget low is we spend most of our groceries on the perimeter of the grocery store, so think veggies, fruits, meat, milk, eggs, and cheese, and a very small proportion of items in the middle of the store, think shelf-stable items like cookies, cereal, bars, and chips. Also, we don't buy liquor, which helps us keep our budget very low. So, number 2 area that I like to track is Amazon. I always track Amazon as I used to be addicted to this platform. Now, we don't have Prime, and I have really reined in on our Amazon purchases, but we've budgeted for about $55 and spent $220. What really pushed us over were gifts. We sent 2 Amazon gift cards, and that was about $100 for this month. That was not planned. And the last area I wanted to highlight was apparel. So we planned to spend about $250, which is usual, but we didn't hit it this month. We spent $443 because both of my kids got a growth spurt. I'm tall and so are my kids, so they look like walking sticks with capris in their jeans. And I'm also revamping my wardrobe, one quality item at a time, which wasn't planned. So next month, we'll be a little bit more thrifty when it comes to apparel purchases. But overall, not too bad in these 3 areas. So we have 3 simple yet tangible financial goals this year. I shared all the details in our last budget video, but I'll tag it here in case you missed it. Our first goal is to invest $50,000 into the stock market or within a business. It looks like investing in the stock market would probably be our main option, as finding the right business to invest in is definitely not easy. So year to date, through March, we have invested $10,225 after-tax dollars into our brokerage accounts within Vanguard. This is about $2,000 short from where we need to be, but I'm not worried. In both January and February, we focused on fattening up our emergency fund, and that has now shifted to investing dollars. Goal number 2 is to have our takeout spend or restaurant spend average less than $250 a month. So this has been a bit of a struggle. We did well in February, but March we did not do so well. And right now we're averaging about $412 a month. Last month we went on a trip for spring break and we ate out a bit more than we planned. We probably cooked maybe 1 or 2 meals versus the 6 that I had planned, so that explains why we're a little over so far in this quarter. Okay, goal number 3 is to have our savings rate over 30%, and I'm always harping about our savings rate, but I'm happy where we landed. We are tracking to about 29.1% in Q1, and that's not bad. Last year, we ended around 28%, so we are trending in the right direction, and we don't have any major trips or expenses coming up in the next month, so I'm confident we'll be able to catch up and get closer to our goal by the end of the year. So we didn't hit any of our goals in March, and we are tracking slightly behind on all of our financial goals for the year, and for some reason, I'm not stressed about it. That's new for me, not stressing about every single financial metric or goal we have. And I'm not stressing because we are trending in the right direction and are close on most of our goals. 9 months to go, and we will definitely hit them. Now, if this was October and we had these same numbers, I'll be a bit uneasy. But we budget to keep ourselves in check and to know where our money is going. We don't budget to be perfect. This month, though, was a bit harder to budget as my mother-in-law is coming to stay with us through the summer, and I'm not 100% sure what her eating habits are, or if she'll like to go shopping or explore the city, so there were a lot more guesstimations than normal. Now, I'm happy to have her stay with us because that means free childcare for date nights or whenever my son's school have random days off. This will definitely be very helpful. Plus, my kids are stoked to have their Jaja come back. So I won't be surprised if April's goals or April's budgets aren't 100% on track, but we will be able to adjust and change for the following months in the quarter. And we are also implementing our 3-step plan, and fingers crossed that it works relatively well for us. So here's our April income report. I've simplified it even more. Our W-2 is 60% of our take-home income, and that continues to decrease over time by design as we work to find other streams of income. Today, if we both lost our jobs, God forbid, we will still have about 40% of income coming in. So here are the details. Now, I round all of our numbers down or up to 0 or 5 just for simplicity on the end. Our W-2 income is $12,430, and this represents after 401k and HSA contributions. And this is standard for us. Now, it might increase slightly as I miscalculated our 401k contributions and need to lower our percentage because I didn't factor into our bonus income, which has portions going to our 401k as well. Now, we have no planned bonuses this month as expected, and our passive income is expected to be around $2,575, and this month it includes our rental income and our first new YouTube income after getting remonetized. Now, our rental income is lower as we have a leaking sink and water damage to fix in both units. And for other, I lumped in side hustles, consulting, contracting, and some small business income all into one, and we expect about $5,565 again this month. So our total expected income for April would be $20,570 for all of our current income streams, which is about $3,500 less than last month. So here's our income tracker for 2024, and as you can see, it ranged from about $21,000 to upwards to over $25,000. Now, there are many factors in play, but the biggest is a 3-pay period month and bonuses from our jobs. My bonus was split across 2 months, and my husband's had his in a different month than both of my bonuses, so that explains the fluctuations. But for Q1, we are averaging about $23,000 in monthly income, and that's definitely higher than our expected income. And for the remainder of the year, I expect things to kind of slow back down to that $20,000 average unless something major occurs impacting our income. Now, I like tracking our income because at times it's hard to see your progression. It's really hard to see the growth, and this graph displays it easily for us. When we met and started dating almost 20 years ago, our joint income was just over $32,000. At the time, I was working as a parking manager, helping people park their cars right out of undergrad, so think peak Great Recession times. And my husband had 2 more years of schooling due to his technical double majors. Today, we have worked to have a gross income over $325,000, and I am proud of it. Now, these charts keep us aware and motivates us to keep pushing forward. So here's our April expense report or our monthly budget. Our top 5 categories this month have slightly changed as we're shifting to investing versus saving. Now, they are investing, childcare, of course, rental and primary mortgages, and tithing. These 5 expenses represent almost 75% of our total expenses. So our savings rate, including both cash and investing, is projected to be around 27%, which is below our target for our year. So our expenses have to be right on for us to keep our average going up. Overall, our total expenses are just under $21,000, which matches our overall income. So let's get into the details. Investing is on top this month at just about $4,500. We are chasing that $50,000 mark and we will hit it this year. Childcare includes daycare, private school tuition, swimming, piano, soccer, and so forth for both of our kids, and that's at $4,370. We do have some wiggle room with this, but for the most part, it's fixed until May. Next are our 2 mortgages for our rental and our primary home at $2,335 and $2,300 even. Now, we are Christians and we believe in tithing 10% of our income to our church and local charities. To simplify things, I give a fixed $1,000 every other week to our church through an automatic payment on our joint credit card. So sometimes it's over 10%, sometimes it's under, but by the mid or end of the year, I do a review and fill in the gaps. Again, this is a great automatic payment on our joint card, which makes it really easy to get this done. The additional dollars are for gifts for this month, so we're totaling around $2,150 for tithing. So here are our cash savings, and this is fixed at $1,050 each month to help us double our emergency fund in the next 4 years. I made an entire video on our strategy, and I'll link that here if you're interested. So groceries increased to $650, and I'm not sure how it's going to go with my mother-in-law being here, but she eats almost an entirely plant-based diet, so we'll see overall if we're able to hit this line item. We then have $475 budgeted for our primary utilities, and this includes gas, phone, electricity, and the internet. So health and beauty is budgeted at $450, and that includes my husband's gym membership, my salon visits, and any beauty items like foundation or mascara that I may purchase that month. So household is budgeted at $450, and that includes our cleaner, toiletries, diapers, household repair items, and any other items for the home. We also budgeted $450 for our rental utilities, and this includes the quarterly payments for water and trash for both of the units. Entertainment is at $260, and that is booked for date night, streaming services, and fun activities for the family. Restaurants is still locked at $250, and we hope to hit this budget this month as we have no travel planned for April. So apparel is clothing needs we may have across the entire family, and hopefully we can stick to the budget this month. It is still budgeted at $250. Now, miscellaneous is for any other section or categories, kind of like a catch-all for us. It also includes our co-pays or some random Amazon purchases, and we have budgeted that at about $230. And cars for gas for our Audi as I work from home, and that's locked in at about $200 a month. And our last expense is our business expenses for my husband's businesses and the small subscriptions for this YouTube channel, and that is budgeted at about $185. So total expenses for March is $20,570, which matches exactly to our income. I always inflate our expenses and round them off, but hoping we can stay on track this month. Now I'm going to focus on what we can change. We can change the discretionary variable expenses, and that's what I will focus on in April. Now that represents about 24% or about $5,000 of our total expenses. Now I want to be under or hit our budget for Q2, and I think we can do it if I focus on these areas. It's just hard to plan or remember all the variable expenses for the month. Now, I might start upticking our miscellaneous sections to be a bigger catch-all overall. I keep it small now to curb my old Amazon addiction, but I've gotten much better, so I will see how things go for the next couple of months. Now, the key variable expenses we can continue to focus on is takeout and clothing. Now, I'm building a quality capsule wardrobe. I still thrift, but because I'm tall, pants, slacks, shorts, they need to be bought online. And then I want to focus on our household items. Spring is here, and I'm debating about growing a garden again. It cost us a pretty penny last year to set it all up, and the deer were the only ones that reaped any of the hard work. Now I'm speaking things to existence. April will be a great budgeting month, and we will hit all of our financial goals. I believe it. Well, kind of. Now, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe below. Until next time.